This is the Horse Radio Network.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Monday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for July 5th, episode 2713, brought to you today by Eagle Equine Products. Good morning, Horse World.
I have good news and bad news for you on this Monday morning. First, the bad. It's Monday. But the good news is really good. Jamie and Glenn are here to guide you through another week filled with horse talk and a whole lot of fun. Welcome to Horses in the Morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday morning. I have two quick things before we get started in the main part of the show. The first is mules are now legal in all facets of show jumping up through the FEI level. That's right. The USHJA and the USEF ruled yesterday that starting on December 1st, it's official that mules are legal. Now, I don't know how many you're going to see in the ring, but if I see any, I'm just going to make me happy. It's just going to make me so happy.
I mean, but they can't compete in the hunters, but the jumpers.
The jumpers, yes, the jumpers. I don't know that hunters will ever have mules. Well, I don't
well, they might have them. They just won't look at them.
That's right. That's right. Equitation will be a problem. But no, I'm very excited about this. The more look at this inclusivity by the USEF.
I'm proud.
Hey, and the other thing is, and I'm saying this at the top of the show because if we're not on Wednesday, this is why. We have this tropical storm Elsa heading our direction, and at this point...
Let it go!
Exactly.
Let it go! Can't hold
exactly.
it.
So at this point, It's supposed to go right over our house. It's supposed to turn in and come right over Ocala. Now, it's a tropical storm, could be a hurricane, but this is very funny. The sheriff's office just posted this. I saw it right before the show started. It says, we are now under a tropical storm warning. Tropical force winds expected in the next 24 to 36 hours. Winds will be up to 75 mile an hour with possibly stronger gusts. Today is the day to get your act together. Yesterday's party is over. Bring in the blowy stuff from outside. Have some supplies. Find the willpower not to eat them by noon today. And get used to hearing the saying, hunker down. And please limit your use of the word moist. So there you go. That was from the Sheriff's Department.
That is funny.
Don't eat your snacks by noontime. That's what always happens when I stock up on snacks. Happens every time. Hey, we have a new sponsor today. Eagle Equine Products is our new title sponsor for Mondays. We have auditor Charlotte Merrill Smith joins us to share her excitement of making team alternate for the United States Paralympic Dressage team after only owning the horse for a year. Plus, apparently, y'all still have some equestrian first world problems. We're going to do all of that on today's show. But first, we have some Daily Winnies. Couple auditor birthdays, Ariel Wolf and Nicole Vida. And a host birthday, Helena Harris, of course, of Stall and Stable, and my first co-host ever here on the Horse Radio Network. It's her birthday tomorrow as well, so happy birthday to all of you. We have some new auditors, Margaret Herndon, Fiona Beal, and Karen Lisa Brooks. Welcome to the party. If you haven't joined the auditor room yet, just search for HRN Auditors on Facebook. Plus, Jamie, another week of raising pledges by a whole bunch of people. We have Stephen, Scott, Kathleen, Kayla, Heather, Marlene, Ursina, and Kelly all raised their pledges last week. Thank you to all of you. We really appreciate you guys. So we had a record last month for Patreon pledges, and we appreciate all your support and for it to continue to go up like it has. We do love you guys, and if you want to become an auditor, just go to horseradionetwork.com, scroll down the right-hand side of the page, and click on the auditor banner.
Well, this is really cool, actually. I read that there are some original Farlap images up for auction in Australia. Lloyd's of London is auctioning off online some negatives and some prints that are the original prints. But here's where it gets confusing. And maybe, you're kind of a geeky guy.
What year was Farlap?
1930. He won the Melbourne Cup.
So these are really old ones.
Really old. But I mean, everything Farlap in Australia goes crazy. And, I'm looking, there's a photo of him just out in a pasture, hanging out, of course, with a bridle on. But God, he was so pretty. Oh my gosh, he was just the prettiest horse in the world. So anyway, for those of you who don't know who Farlap is, go watch the movie. And have tissues. So anyway, it's a great, great movie. Great. It was like the greatest horse in Australia history, Farlap. And they're auctioning these off. But here's where it gets confusing. I'll read what it says. The sale, this one particular bid, it's bidding number 754 that currently is at 1,105 Australian dollars. And it's him under a stronghold of running of the Melbourne Cup. And it also includes the color transparency and a minted non-fungible token. What is that?
Don't ask me to explain that. It'll take me a week.
It says a blockchain technology certifying that the digital asset is unique and provides...
it's kind of related to Bitcoin, kind of in that same category. You're basically spending digital money to get a digital rights to something.
Yeah, which... Okay, I don't even want to go down that road because I've had people try to explain this to me before. Like, I own the image of LeBron James dunking at 4 minutes and 27 seconds in the game last night. Like, what?
I know.
That doesn't make
you
any
really
sense.
don't own anything, because it's digital.
You can tell people I own it. Whoa,
well, that's it. That's pretty much what it is. It's the bragging rights for quote unquote owning that particular thing.
It says the image we are auctioning physically exists and you will receive the physical version. And it has also been minted as an NFT, and the ownership of the NFT will transfer to the highest bidder at the conclusion of the auction.
Yep. But you can't hang that on your wall.
That is $4 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I to be honest, I don't get the whole NFT thing either. It's giving artists another outlet to make some money, but I don't get what you do with it. If you buy a painting, you hang it on your wall, you can look at it, but I don't get it.
Guess what I have? I have somebody that told me that I own this, and haha.
Now, I will say this about the technology. This is all I'm going to say is because it's blockchain, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're the only one that will own the original. There's a trace back to the originator. That's why. What's the word they use? Not certified. They used a different word. Minted. There's actual track back to where it's being minted. So you can't duplicate it too easily. You can't counterfeit it too easily. Now, all of that being said, you still can't hang it on your wall. So I don't get it.
Yay! So exciting.
And that is all any horse person has wanted to hear about NFTs today on this show. We're going to leave it at that because nobody else wants to hear anything more about that. But you know what? If we're not on the air on Wednesday, it's because we don't have power. Just wanted to
because you're hanging out with Elsa.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be hanging out. They shouldn't be allowed to name hurricanes after famous characters in movies. Was Elsa the good one or the bad one?
Well, they're both good in their own way, Glenn. But Elsa was the one who had the magical powers.
Well, let's hope she has magic and just makes the storm disappear.
She's going to let it go. Watch out. The cold never bothered her anyway.
Yeah, even the Weather Channel's been playing that song.
How could you not? Make it a lease or something so we don't all have that song because it's stuck in my head right now. Hey, I have another pretty cool story. They had the Queen Elizabeth was at a horse show, the Royal Windsor Horse Show.
Yeah, it's going on this year.
on Saturday, and her homebred former racehorse First Receiver was a flat racer, had ran 2 seasons, won almost 20,000 pounds, running his final race in June of last year under Frankie Dettori, and actually went out there and was shown and won. First Receiver was shown by Chris Hunnable and his wife Katie, and the horse won the whole darn thing. So Queen Elizabeth and retired racehorses. And I'd like to point out that the photos that I've seen, every single one of them, she is smiling ear to ear. You don't see that very often. She's not in a suit. She's in some sort of button down with a vest on. She looks adorable, and she looks happy. So
yeah, all the pictures I saw were her smiling too, and there was a lot of family with her this time too. She goes to this show every year, and she usually gives out a lot of the first place awards. But yeah,
she's so happy.
We have an auditor that attended, so I'm going to try and get her on Wednesday to talk to us about the show and see if she met the Queen, which I have my doubts about, but we can find out. Well, Michael Jolly is of Eagle Equine, our brand new title sponsor here on Mondays on the show, and we're going to get him on to talk a little bit about what the company is and what the products do. Well, hi, Michael, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, and welcome to Eagle Equine Products as our newest title sponsor here on Mondays on Horses in the Morning. We really appreciate your support, and we're excited to learn a little bit more about the company and the products. So first, tell us about Eagle Equine.
Yeah, Eagle Equine Products, we have gastric support products, MagnaGuard. Some of your listeners may have seen our silly commercials on Facebook with the guy in the horse costume.
Yes.
We also have an electrolyte product, and we're super excited to have the opportunity to be a title sponsor, finally.
How long has Eagle Equine been around?
Eagle Equine's been around since 2018, so fairly new company. And I was working sort of in the horse industry before that, and I just wanted to stay involved in the horse industry, and so did some research into some products, and MagnaGuard has been super great for helping horses' tummies feel great, and it's been a lot of fun.
So MagnaGuard, tell us about, so what's in it, why and how does it work?
Yeah, MagnaGuard has bentonite, and it has some magnesium and some calcium, and bentonite has been used for centuries for all sorts of purposes, for healing and that sort of thing. And it's good for toxin binding, and it's got a high pH, so it helps the gut be alkaline, which, as you know, what happens is when there's too much acid buildup in the stomach, that's what causes the ulcers. And so if you can keep the gut more alkaline, then you can keep the ulcers at bay.
Now, is this a feed-through product, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And you use it all the time, or only when you think you have problems, or is this a maintenance thing where you just use it all the time?
Yeah, MagnaGuard, the powder you use all the time, just as a maintenance and preventative. And we also have the MagnaGuard paste, which is good to use before trailering or before shows, that sort of thing. It's just a convenient way to get their guts feeling good in those kinds of stressful situations.
Now, my wife has a thoroughbred, Nigel, who, when he goes away, is a bit of a handful. And she tried the paste. It comes in a tube, a squirt tube, if I remember right. And she tried the paste the last time and said she doesn't know whether it was the paste or not, but he was much better. So I'm assuming it was the paste because that's the only thing that changed. Nothing else has changed with Nigel. So we're assuming the paste really helped that day when she took him out.
Yeah, absolutely. And because what happens is when they're stressed out, their stomachs become more vulnerable because they produce the hormone that makes their stomach lining less protected. And so just giving them a little protection in the gut does wonders for their stress level.
And he's one of those horses that has diarrhea instantly when he even looks at the horse trailer. So, you can tell he's a little stressed because it has happened every time since we've had him for 8 years. And he can be walking by the horse trailer, and if he sees the back gate open, that's it. He thinks he's going, even if he's not going. So
if your listeners go search for Eagle Equine Products on Facebook, we've got one of our commercials is that exact thing. Is we got our guy in the horse costume in the trailer having those very same issues.
I saw that. It was very funny. It's very funny.
Oh my gosh, I gotta check that out.
He's definitely having problems. And you have
in the horse costume?
Yes.
Are you the guy in the horse costume?
No, I'm not. We hired an actor to embody that role.
Literally.
I can't wait to see these.
And you have other products too as well, so kind of give us an overview of those.
Yeah, we have an electrolyte, which is really great, especially right now where a lot of the country is experiencing a lot of record heat. So it's got all the important electrolytes you need. It's got lots of potassium, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, of course, salt, and it's not just the white salt. It's a premium mineral salt. So it's a really good one, and it's affordable. So check that one out. It's called Magnolite.
Yeah, that's one thing about your products is they are affordable. It's when you contacted us, one of the first things I looked at because so many supplement companies, the products are just out of this world as far as price is concerned. But this is within reach of everybody, can get this and use it. And we're using it on my pony scooter. Actually, and both horses get the electrolytes. And we kind of do it because neither one of them eats their salt bricks too well. So we kind of do it as a feed through every day. And it seems to be working. I mean, they haven't had any problems as far as hydration is concerned. So,
yeah, that's what people report. Their horses tend to drink a lot more water when they're on the Magnolite.
Yeah, and another thing that Jennifer's Wacko Thoroughbred had is not drinking enough water either at home or away. And so we found that he is drinking more now. So that does work too. Well, we do have a coupon code, don't we, for listeners?
We do.
So you use coupon code HRN, you go to eagleequineproducts.com, and they just put this in the coupon code section at checkout, right?
Exactly, yep.
And it's
I think it's just eagleequine.com or Eagle Equine. Yeah, just eagleequine.com. And by the way, the commercial of the horse is like, he has an attitude change and he storms into the stall. He slams the door behind him. He goes, "You're not my real mom." I just almost peed myself a little bit. Oh my God, these are great. And the one where the little girl and their brother did their own commercial. Oh God, it was so cute.
Yeah, they liked it so much they did their own remake of it. And that made us feel pretty good. That was great.
"You're not my real mom." I'm going to use that all day.
Can you use that with your kids? "You're not my real son." I don't think it works the same, does it? Discount code HRN at checkout, and you get 15% off your next order at eagleequine.com. Check out all the products. They do tell us about this, too. They do come with a money-back guarantee, right?
Yeah, that's right. So if it doesn't work out for you or for whatever reason, just contact us for a full refund.
Wow. That's great.
That's a company that stands by their products. I love that.
EagleEquine.com. We'll let you get back to whatever you're doing out there, and we appreciate you stopping by. It does sound like you're on vacation, actually.
Yeah, we're in Moab, Utah, so it's been fun. It's been very hot. It was 108 yesterday.
Whoa! So. Are you taking electrolytes? Can you take the Magnolite?
Yeah, I'm taking my electrolytes so I can stay hydrated.
Good.
Awesome.
Thanks, Michael.
"You're not my real dad. Stop putting that in my mouth and squeezing it. I don't want any more." All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Michael.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our next guest to the show. A team alternate for the United States Paralympic Dressage Team, Charlotte Merle Smith. Woo! Oh my gosh, what is going on, Charlotte? Longtime guest, longtime friend of the show, and congratulations!
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh my God, seriously? I give you that whole big fanfare and you say, like, with that tone?
Yeah, let's get some enthusiasm, Charlotte.
It's so hard because it's just, I've been waiting my entire riding career for this. You know,
and here it is. And you go, okay, thanks. This is great.
Well, it's so hard to believe that it's happening.
Well,
it is, Charlotte. It's happening.
It happened.
I've learned I've learned, you know, with horses that, there's always something.
Well, this time there's not. This is what's happening.
I'm knocking on wood right now.
Good. We'll do that for you too. So this, for those that don't know, this is a fairly new horse for you. Tell us a little bit about this horse.
Yeah. So, her proper name is Guada. I call her Gigi. The check cleared on tax day, so April 15th, 2020. She became mine, and she had been trained. She was ready to go I-1, and then it took us a little while to figure each other out. And now, oh my gosh, she is so on my team. It is just so much fun, and I think it shows when we go into the arena because she's so right there with me.
So you know, it's a special situation to find a horse and you looked for a long time. You know, people may not realize that Charlotte spent 2 or 3 years looking for a horse and to find the right one, because when you're paralyzed from the waist down, you're cute. Everything's different. And you kind of have to get a horse that's already kind of been there, done that a little bit. Was this horse, what level had this horse gone to before you got it?
Well, she was, I said she was ready to show I-1. And it's the hardest thing is you can't train a para horse because every person is different. So you really have to get a horse with the brains and the movement. You know, they have to have a good head on their shoulders. And so that was the biggest thing. Like, I looked at a lot of fancy horses, but then I would get on them and they either want to work with you or they give you the middle finger. So I did a look for 2 years. I looked at a lot of horses all the way from Canada to South Florida. She was less than 10 minutes down the road from me.
Of course, that's the way it always works. And it's pretty incredible, though, that you get a horse and a year later you're team alternate for the United States Para Dressage team. That's not something that happens every day. I am so lucky, and I have an incredible team, you know, people supporting me that it just makes it so much easier. You know, it takes a village, and I don't have any financial supporters, which is a little tough, but I have a lot of emotional, and my mom is incredible, and she's an event rider. And, you know, she knows horses, and I have a great coach, and I'm just really lucky. So what do you use for cues to substitute for the legs? So people might be wondering, well, if you don't have legs and all the cues they normally use with their legs, how are you doing those cues? So we all know that horses are super trainable with consistency. And so I have dispensation aids, and there's different dispensation aids for each grade, each para grade. But I'm allowed to use 2 whips in my voice. And I don't hardly ever need to use the whips for actually going forward. It's more for like lateral work. And, you know, laying them on her shoulder or laying them on her flank. And then I can use my voice in the test, which is the weirdest thing, just to get used to that. But, you know, I kiss to add more energy. I cluck to go in between gaits. And then I sort of say "hoo" for wowing. So my coach uses those same things and her leg so that Gigi associates the two. Okay. So she's super smart that way. They're so quick to learn stuff like that. If you're just, like you said, patient and consistent, horses you can teach them
almost anything. You can teach a horse to hoe by saying, giddy up. I mean, as long as you do it every time, you can figure it out. You know, that's really, really amazing. I teach all my horses here to whoa with just taking a deep breath and letting it out. But that's because in dressage and like able-bodied dressage and eventing, you can't talk. And that is one of the big things I have fought for, because I constantly am talking to my horses. I'm riding them. And here I've got when you go into the test, you're not allowed to. So that is interesting that it was hard for you to cross over to being able to say things to your horse while you're riding.
It's so weird. And one of the first clinics I went to, the para rider, the para coach at that time said, you kind of have to teach them circus tricks. And it's sort of, so to rein back, because, normally you change your seat and leg position in the rein back, but I don't do that so well. So I literally just flick the whip forward so that it goes sort of along the rein, and she knows that means go backwards. Because my coach taught her that in half a ride. So it's,
Does she act?
That's amazing.
Does she act differently at all when your coach is up there and when you're up there? So I guess what I'm kind of trying to ask is, does she know you're her person?
I think so. My last horse knew in a negative way. He was amazing when anyone else would get on him. And then when I would get on, he'd be like, nah, I'm not going to go forward anymore. So that got really tough. But Gigi is just, I think she knows in a way, in a almost like a Charlotte safety mode kind of way, but she still wants to sparkle.
So what'll happen now? You both are going to be heading, all the teams, all the United States teams are heading to Aachen, Germany, right, for quarantine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when will that be?
Good question. The communication is not great. So I go down at the beginning of August. I go down to Wellington because the rest of the team is down there. And then we all go to Miami together and fly out of Miami.
I hope you don't mean the beginning of August. I hope you mean in the next week or so, or you're going to miss the Olympics.
No, but the Paralympics are different. The Paralympics don't have nothing to do with being paralyzed. It's because they're parallel to the regular Olympics. So they're always 2 weeks after the regular Olympics in the same venue.
Gotcha.
Did you know that, Glenn?
I didn't know if it was 2 weeks after. I thought
I didn't know it was the Parallel Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so they're parallel in difficulty and coolness.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you guys will head over to Aachen, and you're doing quarantine there for two reasons. One is, I'm assuming, COVID, and the other is the horses because of all the disease and stuff that's been going around, right?
Yeah, we have to do all kinds of, we have to go have blood tests done before we leave Florida, and then there we have to take a COVID test, all the time. So there's a lot of regulations.
And so
then we quarantine over there for a week, and then I'll either go in place with somebody, or so the team goes to Tokyo, and then the two more just fly home.
It's got to be hard being an alternate because you don't want to. You want to go to the Olympics, but you don't want a person to have to be have to drop out.
Let's be honest, you
that's hard.
Do. You kind of do.
No, I guess so. Really, Jamie. It is the coolest thing for me to even be a reserve. To be able to hang out with the people at that level. I know I'm getting to that level, but the people that are on the team have been, Becca Hart's been to tons of games in Olympics, and it's just cool. And the team people are just it's such a family. Everyone wants everyone to succeed. It's just so fun that way.
And we have, Jamie, an excellent chance of medals this year. We have a really good para team this year. Right, Charlotte?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Did you see, I don't know if you saw Roxy Tronnell just set 2 more world records to try on.
And she's listed as what, number 1 in the world right now?
she's number one in the world. And she's a grade 1, so she walks, and she has the coolest horse. He's like, you watch him go, and he's like, this is my job. I want to do this. I want to walk. Like, he has the best walk, and he's so forward, and he's so intent. And she's an incredible competitor, so she's very tactful and accurate.
Well, we're very proud of you, girl. Congratulations.
Woo!
And good luck.
So much.
We'll be watching for all the pictures and all the stuff, and be sure to post in the auditor room too, okay?
Yeah, okay. I'm on it.
All right. Thanks, Charlotte. Good
Thanks,
job.
Charlotte.
Well, we're so excited for Charlotte and the whole Para team. We're big fans of Para here. We've been covering them since we started this show. So we wish Hope Hand, who's the one that heads the Para Association here in the United States, this is the year I feel gold coming this year. So we're all rooting for you guys. But now it's time to hear about all the problems in the world with our auditors.
It's time for the weekly look at your equestrian first world problems. This ought to be good.
You know what, Glenn? Actually, nobody had any problems.
Oh,
this
really?
week.
Oh, wow. Show's over. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Sad. Remember, these are first world problems, first world equestrian problems posted on our auditors Facebook page by our dear auditors who are so sad but generous enough to share the drama and sadness that they have to live with every day. So if you have first world problems and you want to become an auditor so you can share them and have them shared with the world, it's like therapy. It's cathartic, Glenn. How do they become an auditor?
Just go to horseradionetwork.com, scroll down the right-hand side of the page, and click on the auditor banner. For as little as $3 a month, you can donate to the cause. Jamie gets a piece of that, and so every month she gets a little bit of raise because of you guys. It's the only reason she hangs around, to be honest. So you better just keep giving.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We're going to start with Brenna. Brenna said, I had such a great weekend riding in my new saddle, but somehow I cracked my phone screen. So instead of riding today on my day off, I have to go get my phone repaired.
Big surprise. A horse girl with a cracked phone screen.
New saddles and technology, God, is the worst.
I don't think I've ever seen a horse girl that didn't have a cracked phone screen, to be honest.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think every time I've ever seen you, yours has been cracked.
Jillian said, Chad will be like, you just got that phone 2 days ago.
Last time we saw you at in Kentucky, I was surprised you didn't have bloody fingers. I don't know how.
It got to the point where my fingers started to bleed when I would swipe right. So yeah, I had. Jillian said I had to cut my weekend of camping short to go bale hay. I mean, I get free hay for the year, and I'm going camping again on Thursday. But still.
She's one of the lucky ones to get free hay for this year. Jeez.
I don't know how that happens, but I need I need to know. Elizabeth says, I found out about a polo clinic that was close to home. It took beginners and would have let me meet fellow auditors. But it was the same weekend. I was camping with my horse at the beach. God, I want to camp with a horse at the beach.
That's kind of cool.
I think Zeus would swim out and like never
come
around.
home. Nope.
Like, he'd be that guy. I'd be like, guys, help! Get the boats!
You'd take him to the Pacific, and he'd be in Hawaii in a couple days, just laughing at you.
No, I'd be on his back. He'd take me with him, and I'd be terrified. Let's see. Kayla says, I may have gotten the go-ahead.
Wait a minute. There's a tanker going by, and the captain gets on. Coast Guard, I have a sighting of a woman on a horse about 5 miles offshore.
He has a roached mane and a very long forelock.
She doesn't seem happy. I'd probably need to go out and get her.
She looks a little irritated. Kayla says, I may have gotten the go-ahead to look at properties in Florida, but it's worse than looking for a unicorn for a client. I've only been looking online for less than 12 hours, and it's so overwhelming. I have champagne tastes on a beer budget.
Oh, you can't find a property this year that you can afford, Kayla. Just forget it. Not down here.
Yeah, not yet. Take a break.
And, this bubble will burst, and next year you can get a property half the price.
Yeah, exactly. Colleen says, my horses were totally fine with the fireworks last night, but I forgot to put new batteries in my barn cameras, so I had to actually walk up the hill and check them.
She did better than us. We never left the house. So was it loud where you were last night in Oklahoma?
Oh my God. So we went to Chad's golf course. They did Toby Keith's golf course that he plays golf at. Toby Keith does a whole bunch of fireworks. It's insane. But they didn't start till like after 9 o'clock. So we didn't get home till midnight. And I'm not kidding you. As we got home, people were still shooting off because if it's not like little sparklers.
Not anymore.
People can purchase like the ones that shoot into the sky and explode. And it was still going on when we got home. My horses didn't care. I've been doing the balloon thing with them for weeks. The dogs, however, were still losing their mind. And I couldn't even get Zenny to go outside and go to the bathroom. She was like terrified.
No way. I'll hold it.
I'll hold it. I know I've been in here for 6 hours. I can take another 9. It's fine. I'll be good. Yeah. So Debbie says on Saturday, I wanted to ride my new endurance horse that I bought on Monday, but the weather called for rain. So instead we had to go pick up our 2020. Such a bee. So instead, we had to go pick up our brand new Dodge Ram 2021 that we had ordered all the way back in March.
Yeah, nobody's feeling sorry for you right now. People would kill for those trucks right now. You can't find them anywhere.
TL said, I splurged and I bought myself a really pretty riding shirt, but it's been too hot to wear it. Cody says, my chestnut mare. This might be my favorite of this week. Cody says, and I'm gonna read it the way that I felt like she was saying it. My chestnut mare is an orangey chestnut, and her colors are rose and French blue. But most of the time, I just have to accept light pink and sky blue, and it's just terrible.
The hell is French blue?
I've never heard of French blue in my entire life.
I think people just make this shit up.
Apparently, trash mouth.
Sorry.
Apparently, sky blue is not French blue, Glenn, and rose is not light pink.
Okay, I'm on Google and I looked up French blue and it's blue. It's just blue.
I gotta Google it now too.
It's just blue.
French. Let's see, French
blue, and go to Google Images. Everybody do this. Play along, and it's just blue. It's blue.
It's blue.
It's blue.
It's like a tealy kind of lighter.
It's not dark blue, but it's not light blue. It's not teal.
Not sky blue is what it's not, Glenn, and that is important. Ursina says, I bought a new horse. Wheeling thinks HR
Why do people
auditors.
post? They know we're going to make fun of them. Why do they even post?
That's because it's true. You know, there's a different color French blue, though, that's darker.
So look, people can't even settle on which French blue is. So, I mean...
There's a French blue color scheme listed here on schemecolor.com. There's a bunch of French blues. Oh my God. You know what, Cody? I feel your pain right now. It is not fair what is happening in the French blue world. Okay. I bought a new horse, but he's not going to be here until October. So I have to wait until then to pick out his colors. And he's a sorrel appy, and hopefully everything he's going to look good in pretty much. Apparently, listen, Ursina, don't get in the French blue market. No, okay.
Because nobody's true to the French blue.
I mean, if you think he's going to look good in French blue, just make sure you are happy to settle for sky blue.
And by the way, auditors will know this, but regular listeners may not. That her saying potty mouth to me is hilarious because nobody has a bigger potty mouth.
Yes, but I have been trained. I remember I did 12 years of real radio, Glenn. Real radio, where I would sit, and if you said a cuss word that was not dumped, you would have to pay a $250,000 FCC fine. So I am trained not to swear into a microphone. And our post shows that you let me swear in have messed with my head because I just can't continue to cuss into a microphone. It's going to get me in trouble. I'm going to start a real radio career one time. Like someday down the road, they're going to be like, we want you to be our morning show, whatever. And I'm going to say, great. They pay me a lot more than Horses in the Morning does. So I'm going to take that job and I'm going to swear into the microphone and I'm going to get fired.
Oh, the hell with that. So one of my buddies has a show and he was just picked up by Westwood One. So who knows? There's hope.
See, you can't teach me to cuss, damn it. I can't do it. Rachel says there's a big quarter horse show at the South Point here in Vegas. So my dog and I are hanging out, visiting friends and cheering them on. However, my dog is not allowed in the casino, which is where Steak and Shake is. And so I can't go. And I really, really want a chocolate shake.
God, when you want a chocolate shake, you want a chocolate shake really bad.
I was in the airport and I don't eat like fast food, but there was nothing to eat and they had a Wendy's and I was like, Frosty and French fries. Like that as a child was my favorite thing. And I went up to the damn line and it was like 2 miles long.
Because everybody else wanted a Frosty and French fries.
In time, get my Frosty and still get on the plane. Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to get a Frosty today and I'm going to post a picture of it.
You know, we had the discussion about Frosties the other day because depending on where you go and how well their machine is working, sometimes they can be a little runny. And the other day we went and they were perfect. Oh,
I'd send it back. This is chocolate milk, but
yes,
it's not even real chocolate.
It needs to be ice cream.
Some sort of disgusting vegetable oil concoction, but sometimes you just crave that.
Yep. Or they will say we were out of chocolate, and I'm like, vanilla doesn't count. That's not a Frosty. Doesn't count.
They have vanilla Frosties now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm gonna have me one of them. Victoria says, I went to the stable for my lesson only to find out it was canceled because all the horses were being vaccinated. And so all I could do was take myself out to brunch with unlimited mimosas.
And there was no riding after that.
No. Diane says the weather here in Virginia has been so great for riding, but I have so much to do to get settled in. I don't want time to ride. I think she just moved.
Yeah, she moved from Florida to Virginia.
Oh, Kristen, this is so sad. People at the barn have started calling my mare Dee Dee, but her name is Dee. Get it right.
I would think that would be the natural nickname for a D, don't you?
Yeah, but I get it. So I had Demure and we would call him D, but nobody would call him Dee Dee. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, but Dee Dee's a girl, not a boy.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think I skipped one. No, that's it. We're good.
All right.
We're good. This is one I skipped. So Colleen says our 3-month-old son, he threw off one of his little sandals, and so this is something that Chad would think was funny. So I took a cute picture of it and I texted it to our farrier saying that we needed an emergency visit to put a thrown shoe back on. It was a picture of her 3-month-old son throwing his sandal. Let me go back to that. And so she thought her farrier would care. And so, of course, he thought I was saying that one of our horses threw a shoe and he made an appointment to come out. And she's like, and I need to stop trying to joke about things. I am sorry. I love my husband, but he is not funny. Like, he's fun. I think he's funny, but he's just not funny in like public. Like, have you seen the movie Sleepless in Seattle? And they're like at the restaurant and he's like, we'll take a bottle of Dom DeLuise. And the waiter's like, excuse me? And she's like, Dom Perignon. He meant Dom Perignon. That is my relationship with my husband. A waitress will come up and he'll say something. I'll be like, let me explain that. Please, Chad. Please. I remember he went to a job interview for an airline and I was like, here's the deal, buddy.
No matter jokes.
What, just don't make any jokes. Just answer like, don't make any jokes. You're not like, I think you're funny. I think you're hilarious, but nobody else gets it. Okay. So there you go. That is my relationship with a husband in a nutshell. That is why I would not text a photo of my son throwing off a shoe to my farrier, because that is something my husband would do and get it wrong.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Keep an eye if we don't have power because of this stupid Elsa on Wednesday, we might not have a show, but keep an eye on the Facebook page and we'll post there if something's going wrong. Jamie will post there if something's going wrong. I'll let her know.
I'm going to get some GD French blue
yes,
saddle
you do.
today.
You need those. And tomorrow we have, what do we have tomorrow? Why am I losing what we have tomorrow? Oh, the Mustang episode, because it's the beginning of the month. So we have the Mustang episode for you tomorrow, and then we have a full week of programming for you as well. So we had something fun, and I'll leave you with this. First of all, auditors, we will do a post show. We're going to talk about TV today. A couple things I need to talk to Jamie about. One of them's Loki. But we had some exciting news this morning. Jennifer went to the place that does the wraps, and we have our billboard on the back of the camper for the road show. It's on. Took him about 10 minutes to put it on. It looks fantastic.
See a picture.
We're gonna post pictures today. But yeah, it's so much fun. It's there. People will behind us will definitely know what we're doing. And I want to thank Jessica Troop again for the logo. Your logo looks good, huge. So we'll make sure we text her a picture as well. But we'll post pictures today of that. We're very excited. We're doing the final prep now for the trip and getting things organized. And we're going to be good to go here shortly. Thank you, everybody. Auditors, hold on. Jamie can be reached and found at
Flyover Farm. Jamie Jennings, certified Monty Roberts instructor on Facebook. And no, I'm too old for Instagram and TikTok and Hitch Your Giddy Up or whatever the heck else there is out there. Just Facebook. That's all. I stare at my phone enough. And no, I don't have a YouTube channel. Stop asking. It's not going to happen.
We're lucky she's posting on Facebook. It took me forever to get her own page.
Spay, neuter, go!